The Lord of the Rings mistranslated. Chapter 1. A long-detected smarty. Bilbo Baggins, Mr. Bag End, announces that his upcoming 11th birthday will be celebrated with a special party, and the solution is discussed in Hobbiton. 60 years have passed since the birth of the rich and small city of Bilbao, but this local miracle will not return. The treasure he brought back from the trip became a local legend, and despite his father's advice, the last jump ended in the sand. Also, it takes a lot of time. It takes time, but there is Parkinson's disease. The 1990s and 1950s were good times, but not anymore. The others agreed. You don't have to be young or rich. He said we had to pay. Noisy and uncomfortable. No problem, sir. There are many people who are happy to find pride and wealth in agriculture. He lived with his family outside Sackville Baggins, and his work with poor families was welcomed. However, he did not have a close friend until one of his brothers became an adult. She and Bilbo's beloved young men were led by Frodo Baggins. When Bilbo was 9 years old, he persuaded Frodo to side with the wolves. Scholar Precero's high hopes were not realised. Bilbo and Frodo share the same birthday, September 22nd. Children of Frodo, please stay here, Bilbo said. We will then be able to celebrate our birthdays in complete freedom. In 20 years, Frodo was 10 years old and played from childhood until he was 30 years old. About 12 years ago every year, the Borsello family organises a big Christmas party in Bolsena. But it's clear that something special is going to happen this fall. Bilbo was only 11 years old when he recovered from his illness, an unusual figure for a believer and a respectable age. Talk was only 130. But Frodo was already 33. The big picture, the final days. Rumours of hobbits and beavers spread. The news spread throughout the neighbourhood. Sir, the main topic of our conversation is the story and character of Bilbo Baggins. Adults need to have fun and learn quickly. Of all the leaders, no one values more than this group of young elders. We will pick you up from the Ivy Bush Hotel, a small hotel located on Baywater Street. He spoke to the soldier while he tended the garden and helped young Holman on Death Street for 40 years. As he grew, so did his team, with much of the work falling to his youngest son, Sam Gacy. Father and son loved Bilbo and Frodo. They lived in Beg End, in a country called Bag Shatra. September is the end of the season. A few days later, and Sam knew it, the wound healed and the old technology was gone, and the lion saw a light he hadn't seen in 100 years. As the days go by, the sun is getting closer. One night, a beautiful ship carrying a strange cargo crossed the Kokoro River in the mountains and arrived at Hobbiton. The fans looked at the bright door. Together with their guests, they sang a beautiful song called Sharkon. He has a long beard and a deep turban. Some rooms have a garden. The vessel sank near the Brandywine Bridge in Baywater on Saturday afternoon, September the 2nd. Parents take care of everything. He wears a long green hat, a black hat, and a silver scarf. Behind the hat is a long white beard. The hobbits got into the boat and went over the mountain to Hobbiton. Yes, there are more. The old man opened the door for Bilbo. There are cute red dresses, big faces of all shapes and sizes, and elves. In fact, it is a symbol of the great wizard Gandalf, whose name is associated with the power of fire, smoke, and fire. His first job was difficult and dangerous, but the villagers didn't recognise him. This is the big part for them. You will be happy, Hobbit. I see, the old man smiled. They knew they hadn't seen anything unusual in the area for a long time, but I never saw a fire with my parents. It's a familiar story. Your heaven, said Gandalf. True, said Bilbo. I love your beauty and charm, Sheila, but I need a break. Do you intend to continue the project? I made this decision a month ago and nothing has changed. It's very nice. Follow your plan, your best plan, your heart. I want to do this, but I am good to meet on Friday. Who laughs? Gandalf nodded. The next day many letters arrived. They may have local shops, but in the past week they've been ordering gourmet or expensive food from Hobbiton, Baywater and elsewhere. People are happy and energetic. I started writing appointments on my calendar. A monk was waiting for their invitation. The rear hook is attached to the door. No one can end it. I often go to parties with actors. After Gandalf's arrival, Bilbo writes invitations, sends replies, arranges gifts, arranges presents. One morning the Hobbit found a large garden in front of Bilbo's house. It was full of tents, ropes and poles, open street gates, grand staircases and white doors. Outside the house on Bagshot Street, all three hobby families were very happy and energetic. Old people do not work in the fields. The train pulled out and the tree grew grass and stood proudly next to the big table. Every branch of light closes. Description, good. A large restaurant is being built in the northern part of the campus. Every hotel and restaurant has thousands of photos of kitchens, baskets and other things that people love. Then it got dark, and then I remembered that it was Thursday, September 22nd. The fun begins. Bilbo Baggins called late, but he was surprised. Call all the neighbours. Some people make mistakes, but nothing is wrong because everyone is the same. Villagers from other places also participated. Some came from other countries. Bilbo greets visitors through the new white door. Give gifts to everyone. He was the last person to enter the room and returned to the door. It's not good to give people gifts on their birthdays. It's not as expensive as it is now, but he has a good plan. In fact, every day someone has a birthday in Hobbiton and the beach, so some fun every week is appreciated, but not immediately. We welcome all visitors who come to our doors. We sing, we dance, and we eat. There are three common types of food: lunch, tea, and dinner, or brunch, although lunch and tea are more common. Sometimes people eat and drink until 1 a.m. before the fireworks start. Gandalf is like fire. It doesn't burn, it doesn't create, it has special properties. Not only clothes and weapons, but ink, paper, tobacco, lamps and candles. Our place, ours in Kingland, is beautiful. As Gandalf grew older, he became more cautious. The fountain of butterflies shines in the forest. Pillars of flowers rose up and transformed into flying eagles, boats and cows, red and yellow water. The silver spear flew into the sky like a spear. Hundreds lay like dead snakes. The final surprise was in Bilbo's memory, and it really surprised me. He likes to be spanked, Gandalf thought. Turn off the lights diagonally. It turned into green and red flames. Also, the true red and yellow bee flies are not real. As he walked through the crowd for the third time, his jaw dropped and his eyes closed again. Everything was sold. It's a sign of lunch. Suddenly the pain and fear were gone, and the hobbit awoke. Everyone had lunch, suitable for all except special occasion guests. The event was held in the restaurant's spacious and barrier-free room. The first two sides must be measured. Hobbits are also called Six, but are considered unrelated in their direct meaning. Among the guests were the free relatives and friends of Bilbo and Frodo, like Gandalf. Many young fans come with their parents' permission, because sleeping through the night is important for children, especially when it comes to free food. Open the email. Truth, origin. But as Sam says, many companies are in bad shape because they don't know how to turn around. They drink their favourite drinks, touch the world they love and forget their fears. They want to obey everything and are happy everywhere. Hello, Bilbo is sitting in his chair. He heard and he obeys. Listen, he shouted again, ready to obey the order. The light of the lamp fell on his shirt. All the people looked at him with hands and bags. My handbag is expensive and famous. My favourite books are Brandy Goats, Grubs, Chubs, Browns, Blue Horns, Bulger, Brussels, Beautiful Bodies, Brookhouse and Buds. The first four are on the table. Bigfoot, even Bilbo. Dear Sackville Baggins, I fell on the wrong side. Today is my birthday. 11/11 today. I am 11 years old. Welcome, welcome, welcome again. Translation, short and direct. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Say yes or no as you like. Sounds of pipes, crafts and other instruments. As we have already said, many new fans appeared. Hundreds of musicians survived. Sure enough, the man in the corner of Tox and Brandybuck thought Uncle Bilbo had done it, he said, and started singing. Good luck in the church. H. Everett Tuck and Millay went to the brandy table and began to play spring chimes, but it was a good dance. But not Bilbo. We were surprised when we heard someone's voice in front. Is it tasty? He shouted at him. You don't even know half of what you want to know, and half of my needs are loving you. It was unexpected and very difficult. Sometimes people clap, but those who wonder if it is worth it. Second, celebrate your birthday. So today is our birthday, and today is my heir and brother Floyd's birthday. It has existed since ancient times and is a cultural heritage. The old man shouted, Don't do that, Flood. Jolly old Frodo, Father Sackville Baggins asked, and the priest nodded. What does heritage mean? We have collected 144 beautiful rooms. This word has a bad meaning, and many people feel depressed or sad for no reason, especially the Sackville Baggins team. Enter conditions based on package content. I hate it. Bad news. Third, I want to share my thoughts. When he said the last words, everyone stood up. But what did I say? 11 years have passed between you, and the end has come. He went out and closed the door. His eyes shone like lightning, and all the guests were happy. He opened his eyes, and it was Bilbo. 144 hobbits stood stunned and bewildered. Then Dodo Broodfoot swung his leg on the table. After a short break, Hal Baggins, Puffin, Tucker, Brandybuck, Grub, Chubb, Burrows, Polka, Prescott, Brockhouse, Goodbody, Hornblower and Proudfoot. This festival is dirty. The food and drinks scare the guests. This is very good. As I've always said, Dax and a bit does, but Bilbo doesn't. A lot of people are like that these days. It's good. As Bilbo Baggins explains, he found a golden ring in his pocket, a beautiful ring he had been hiding for years. No one saw him wake up in Hobbiton. When he heard the faces of everyone in the house and the happiness of the neighbours, he ran home and stopped laughing. Yes, yes, he took off his shirt and folded a piece of paper. Then he went to his office and took stones and paper from a large box wrapped in an old cloth. This is good cover. They were sitting with almost all the bags, books and heavy items. He put the golden ring and the large necklace into his pocket and nodded and turned to Frodo. I took the first shirt but quickly took it off and put it on. And then the door opened and Gandalf entered. "Good morning," Bilbo said. "To find out?" "This makes me happy. I want to hug you and tell you my last words," answered the scientist, sitting down. "I hope everything is okay, but what?" "Yes," said Bilbo. "Good lighting not only scares me, but also the people around me. I assume you installed it?" After years of wearing this ring, I realised that it was necessary to make up for the sudden loss of the band. "It makes me laugh. You are a good old man, but as always, I wish you knew better." Bilbo laughed. "I have no idea, but I don't know the whole situation. I finished." His confession shocked many, angered many, and for 19 days, the entire region was in danger. Do you want to continue? "Yes, like I said. I think I need a long break. It can also be a permanent condition. I'm not coming back. Of course, I don't want to, so I reject everything." "I am old, Gandalf. I can't see it, but I feel it in my heart. Keeps very well," he gasped. "Well, I'm a little skinny, as they define it, if you know what I mean, like the fat goes away and the bread is not delicious. I want a change or something." Gandalf looked at him in surprise. "No, I don't think that's right. No, I think your plan is very good. Yes, I want to see the mountains. I want to see Gandalf's mountains. I want a quiet holiday without children. But I decided that the tourists will have to wait. After an hour, I found a place to read a book, and it was a good ending. He's still alive." Gandalf smiled. "I don't think anyone would read this book to the end," he said. "Cold matters, right?" "Yes, 2 points maybe. If I say, surely you will join. It actually helps before the conference." But of course he didn't like it. "You should be comfortable here. I always do my best, with some exceptions. I hope you enjoy getting to know me. Now is the time to be a leader." "Each of them?" said Gandalf. "But the ring." "He understood," she recalls. "Yes, I see," said Bilbo. "You know this place," said Bilbo quietly. "The fire in the kitchen. Look in your pocket." He laughed. "Why not?" Gandalf turned and looked at Bilbo with wide eyes. "I think, Bilbo," he said softly, "I should let you go." "Yes, yes, and no. Now that you're here, I can say that I don't want to be apart from you. I don't know why it should be." "Why do you want to?" he asked excitedly. He is quick, suspicious and aggressive. "You insulted me with your finger, but I don't mind what I see on the road." Bilbo understood. Her beautiful face shone. "But why?" He was shocked. "Do you know what I do in my country? Where do you work?" "Yes, yes," said Gandalf, "do not be angry." "I misunderstood you," said Bilbo. "I would say I like my boss very much." The witch's eyes were calm and peaceful, and she could only see fear and terror in those calm eyes. "That's his name, not mine." "Me. Why didn't you tell me earlier that I'm not a teacher? I've been hiding ever since." Bilbo promised to do as he pleased and went as he pleased. "Well, if you want a special ring, tell me. But you don't have one. I won't give up my love, I tell you." Gandalf rolled his eyes. "This is not the time to be angry. If you want to do it again, do it. Hide Gandalf's hair." His shadow filled the small room. Bilbo said as he leaned against the wall and put his hands in his pockets. The room was dark. The two looked at each other for a long time. Gandalf was looking for a lover. His hands were shaking stiffly. "I don't know what happened to Gandalf. He never said, am I right? Leave me alone or I'll kill you. But you don't drink." "I'm not calling. I'm not one of them. I'm not lying. I want to help. I hope you have the same faith in me." 30 minutes passed before he returned. He must be a big, boring guy. "I tried to stop, but I couldn't. I don't know why. I haven't decided yet." "Yes," said Bilbo. "Frodo, I like it. Now I have to go to work or people will find me." I said, "Okay, but I can't." She took her bag and went to the door. "Man, I have this ring in my pocket." "In this case," Bilbo cried, "my wishes and all other articles. I got it and love it. This is the safest way." "No," said Gandalf, "don't call me." They were safe until Frodo arrived. Bilbo took it, but as he reached for the bell, the arrow struck him again, and the arrow fell to the ground. Before he could catch it, the witch was about to catch him. Khabib's eyes filled with anger. "To understand, feel your life and smile." "Yes," he said, "I walk." He sang. "The road always comes first. It's under the open door. Haven't seen the way for a long time. I will go as much as possible. Just follow the simple steps given below. We also met on the street. Communication and transportation. And where? I can't say that." Frodo quickly lost consciousness and fell into darkness. "Do you want?" "How should we do this?" said Gandalf. "This is the end." "Oh, I hope today is fun," Frodo said. Said Gandalf, "Don't worry, everything is fine. The package left." Frodo took the envelope but did not open it. "All his collateral will be found there?" asked the doctor. "I want a gold ring." "Fingers crossed," cried Frodo. "I didn't like it at all." "What we can do is impossible," said Gandalf. "I have it. I don't want to use it, but I want to keep it secret and safe. But strange things can happen to patients. Such a feature if they use it. This is a warning to be more careful. Maybe it has to be lost forever." Frodo said, "I don't understand." "I also," answered the counsellor. "I was thinking about the ring, especially last night. You don't have to worry about it, but if you take my advice, you'll at least use it. At least I won't." End of chapter 1.